Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The Breakdown, episode 629, sponsored by Gemini. That's right, Gemini. Go to Gemini.com/David G and look at the lineup of credit cards that Gemini has to offer you. All the credit cards are issued by WebBank. Again, Gemini.com/David G. Go check it out. Also, click the link. I don't care where you're tuning in from. You see the link, click on the link to sign up to Gemini. If you're not signed up to Gemini, if you don't have a centralized exchange, sign up to Gemini, okay? Sign up to Gemini. Get $1,000 in crypto. Trade 1,000, excuse me. Trade $1,000 in crypto and get $100 in Bitcoin. It's only for new users, man. Terms apply. Go check it out, man. All right. Hello again. Hello again. Hold on, let me see. I'm trying to look for something here. I got my new camera. That's right. I don't have a new camera. It's actually just working after 3 years. Pay like so much goddamn money for it. So much money for it. Why is it lagging? Welcome to the Breakdown, though. Welcome to the Breakdown, episode 629, sponsored by Gemini. Don't worry, I'm trying to get the shit up here, man. I gotta tell you, I've been on so many fucking phone calls today. Like starting from 6 o'clock in the morning, I've been taking phone call after phone call. This entire week has been crazy. We had a packed week, and we could have had a packed Friday today. But honestly, everybody enjoyed, obviously had Thanksgiving celebrations, and we all rescheduled. And it just made sense. Maybe some people might pop up today, but I'm just saying we pushed it back. Oh, yeah, we pushed it back to next week. Next week is next week, if you care about freedom of speech, when I tell you guys that I'm cooking something up, I think you should start believing me, man. I told you last week and the week before that I'm cooking, and I'm talking, and I'm emailing, and my staff's emailing people. Things are in the works, man. I'm excited. I'm very excited. Yesterday, obviously disappointed with the show. I'm my own worst critic, man. Like nobody here can criticize me worse than I can criticize myself. And yesterday I was very, very, absolutely very disappointed. And I'll get to that. And I will get to that. Especially that I was super excited about, the specific topic that, prediction markets. I was excited. I was so excited to bring somebody on. Obviously, that is, a part of a big time platform. And I'm not asking people to jump out of their chairs. I'm not asking people to be excited. If you want to keep your tone low and answer your questions instead of having a conversation, why am I getting into this? I'm in a hell of a good mood. Why am I even getting into this? There you go. The recap, the breakdown, Friday wrap up, markets, crypto, politics. We'll talk about all that stuff. We're going to touch on a lot of stuff here. But yeah, I was disappointed yesterday, no doubt about it. I didn't hide my frustrations. I just feel like, when you come onto a show like this, like the number one show out there, and I'm gonna say that, and I feel that, and I know that, and I feel that in my nuts. You come on here, just be presentable, man. Like if I go on to me personally as a brand, if I go somewhere, if I'm invited onto a podcast or even a live stream, I'm showing up ready to go. Like I want you guys to remember, like this man came prepared. He came prepared. That's all you want. That's all you want. By the way, obviously now you guys can see my green eyes. I love my camera. I love my camera. I feel like I've been hiding my green eyes for a very, very long time from you guys. Nobody believed me either when I would say, like, I have green eyes. They were like, nah, you don't got green eyes. They look brown. Make sure you get the right camera. I had the right camera. Just had to go ahead and put it to work. And now it's being put to work. But when I show up, make sure that I show up clean. I got the hair cut. The hair's done right. The beard's trimmed. The eyebrows look good. You get where I'm going. You get where I'm going. Yeah, I'm getting torched on that camera. By the way, I recommend content creators to get yourselves a good camera, okay? Get yourselves a good camera that shows off all your features. Because it works with the algorithm. The cleaner your picture is, the better the algorithm receives your videos. Telling you, I'm giving you tips here that others probably will not. I'm here to go ahead and help you. I really am. I really am. We'll talk about crypto. We'll talk about like the hottest projects. We're going to talk about Trump saying that he wants to essentially eliminate income tax, but I'm going to break it down in terms of what I think he wants to do with income taxes. I know he wants to rely on tariffs, but when he says he wants to get rid of income tax, I think he's talking about specifically people. I guess once you're past a certain point, you're not paying income tax. I think that's probably what he's talking about. I also think he's probably talking about like individuals that make, maybe $75,000 or less, them not paying income tax. I could see that kind of working. But either way, what is that? Hey, David, on TikTok, you can airbrush your lives. Shit. Some people need to airbrush themselves, bro. They ugly as hell. They need all the filters they can get. They definitely need all the filters they can get. Was that mean? I'm not mean, man. You know what it is? I say shit that you guys are scared to go ahead and fucking say. That's it. Like, I say things that you guys are scared to go ahead and say. If you tell somebody they're ugly, what are they going to do? No, forget about the ugly part. If you tell somebody, hey, you're overweight, two things happen. One, the individual ignores you and continues to eat themselves to death. Or two, they say, you know what? I am overweight. It's time for me to get a membership to the gym. Or maybe I should forget about the gym. Let's not even advance them. Let's not advance them that far ahead. But maybe they just say, you know what? I'm going to walk around the block. I'm going to put on my running shoes. Actually, let's not say running shoes. I'm going to put on my walking shoes. And I'm going to walk the block. And that gets individuals started. Now you've motivated somebody to try to look better, more presentable. And that's right. People should not be fat. I'm saying that. If you are overweight, you should not be overweight. Okay? You should not be over. It is not sexy to be overweight. I don't give a fuck what commercials Calvin Klein or Tommy Hilfiger are coming out with, where you see people that are absolutely obese coming on your screen. That is not sexy. I say this all the time. I go into New York City, I see these billboards with people that are obese. That is not sexy. It is not. It's not sexy to be anorexic, and it's not sexy to be overweight. What's sexy is get your ass into a goddamn gym, okay, and work out. Start with 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, okay? Go 3 days a week. Just go once a week. Just start. But all this shit this is what I'm talking about. Corporate America is pushing people to be unhealthy, okay? Whether it's anorexic or completely obese. It costs so much. Think about this. It costs so much money to eat healthy. It costs absolutely nothing to get yourself some fast food. Don't you want to look good? Don't you want to walk into a room dominating? You can still work out and trade at the same time. If you're worried that, oh my God, I can't work out because I might miss the next play, bro, you're like 3 steps away from fucking diabetes. What's more important, your life or catching the next play? What are we talking about? And I say this respectfully. For anybody my audience that's tuning in right now, if you are overweight, I'm not trying to get on you. If anything, I'm trying to inspire you. I'd love to see the new you. You don't understand how much life gets better when you take care of yourself. Listen to me carefully, because I'm not trying to joke on you. I'm just trying to motivate you, but ultimately, you got to be driven to be healthy. Because let me say something. Once you start taking care of yourself and you start getting serious about life, life starts getting serious about you. Okay? I promise you that. You start working out, watch your income go up. I promise you, you have a better chance of winning if you start looking the part. You're going to feel good to get out of bed. Yeah, I'm ready. If you get the right hours of sleep, 6 to 8 hours of sleep, you're eating healthy, you might not see it. From an aesthetic point of view, you might not see it right away. But you'll feel it right away. You'll feel it. You'll feel that your body's working. Your blood's moving. Your blood hasn't moved in the longest time. Now your blood's moving. Take a 3-day fast. Get rid of, reboot, repair your body. Eliminate the sugar. Sugar is your worst enemy. I make sure that I keep my sugar intake at the lowest levels possible. You feel good. I think sugar's worse than heroin. It's worse than crack. Other countries, this is the sad part. Thank God for RFK Jr. Because up until he came into office, the United States of America, big corporate America, was feeding you dog shit. All this processed food. You go over to any other country, you don't get that. You don't get that. They don't allow for that shit to come into their country. You got 42 million people on the WIC program or SNAP. They're able to go ahead and buy fucking Pepsi and Coca-Cola, aka diabetes. They're able to buy all this shit that is going to ruin their lives. That is unacceptable. Everybody should be eating healthy. I don't even know why I'm on this subject right now. Maybe it's because I was talking about being presentable. Maybe I was talking about when you show up to a show, especially a higher rated show, a very highly rated show, that you're supposed to look the part and be that part, especially if you're representing a company. Especially if you're representing a big company, you want to go ahead and showcase that your company is the shit. And you are a representation of your company and your brand. So you need to show up and act the part. For me personally, if I send somebody out to an event and they don't look the part, number one, it's my fault. Number two, done, adios. Because that means you don't care about my company. You don't care about us taking shit to the next level. Anyway, welcome to The Breakdown, episode 629. Let's look at the markets. We got Bitcoin at 90,905. We got Ethereum at 3,048. USDT holding stable. We got BNB at 882. XRP at 216. Solana is down from yesterday. 3 3/8. We're at 137. Dogecoin's at 14. Cardano's at 41. That's the top 10. Tron's also there at 28 cents. Again, I have no problem with the markets going sideways. Right in this position right here. Do I think Bitcoin's going over 100K? I do. But I have no problem Bitcoin, Ethereum, and everybody else being in this area. No problem, because I still want a DCA. I told you guys I believe there is no cycle. We had on Hunter, the CEO of Bitwise. He doesn't believe in the 4-year cycle either. I don't believe in the fucking cycle. There are a lot of smart people, a lot of smart individuals that no longer believe in the cycle that you talk about. And that's exciting. It's exciting. I can't believe you guys pushed me to the side over some random crackheads on social media. I can't believe you didn't listen into me. I told you we ain't going to 40,000 Bitcoin or $3 fucking Ethereum. Okay? I told you there is no such thing as cycle here. I figured it out months ago. There is no cycle. I said it's different with the institutional players in here. There's a want in the world for Bitcoin. People want Bitcoin. You sell at 88,000, somebody's there to pick it up at 88,000. They want it. Same thing with Ethereum. Do not get it twisted for 1 second. I fully believe Ethereum is being held down for people within the institutional world who have come out and stated that they will be building on Ethereum and using it as a foundation. I'm pretty sure they continue to accumulate. I think Solana's going to do great. But I've been screaming about this. I've been screaming about this. Andrew Tate will come on to this show. It's either going to be this show or the podcast, which I've been talking about. Have no worries. Andrew Tate is coming on to this show. And we're going to have the realest discussion of all time. $100%. There you go. I let the cat out the hat. There you go. We have so many people coming onto this show in the next few weeks. It's ridiculous. The lineup is great. I kind of gave. We had a lineup. We had a lineup today. Excellent lineup. I kind of said, it's me. I said it's Friday. People were like, I don't know if I can bring the specific guest said, I don't know if I can bring my best out. I ate too much turkey. Cool with it. You know, I said, you know what? I want one of every day we have a guest on, but like I want to actually talk to the people. Like I actually today, Thanksgiving, I hope you guys had a good time. I had an absolute blast. Okay? I had an absolute fucking blast. Thank God the markets recovered a bit. I had a blast. Otherwise, if the markets were at fucking 78,000, we would have had. You know what? But if Bitcoin went to $78,000, who's not buying, man? Yo, what the fuck is this? You know, a lot of people consistently beg for the markets to pull back so they can buy the dip. It dips, it corrects, and you start fucking crying that it's dipping, and like that's it. It's over. The top was in, you're out. 4-year cycle, bear market incoming. Shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about because, like I've said multiple times on the show, You guys are tuned in to absolute dog shit. You guys are absolutely tuned into absolute dog shit. You don't, I don't believe, I actually don't believe you guys are serious about changing your lives. I don't believe that you guys are really serious about changing your lives. Landy, there is no cycle. I love you, but there is no cycle. It's dead and gone. It's no longer here. Your 4-year cycle, the 4-year cycle that we're accustomed to, it's not here. But going back to the part of you guys don't really want to be rich, you don't. You guys don't know what it takes to become wealthy. You guys have absolutely no idea what you need to do to become healthy and successful. You have no idea. You come here chasing clout. I watch a lot of you guys on social media. You're here for clout. Meanwhile, this crypto ecosystem, if we're going to stay on crypto, this crypto ecosystem is wide open for anybody who is serious about changing their lives. If you've ever had an idea, you can literally, and I hate using the word literally, but you can build in this space and get massive support. I know you see some of these crackheads attacking builders. There are legitimate people outside of X, okay? There are way more platforms like TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, I'll name them all, that have way more people that are way more tuned in into crypto than there are on X. Respectfully, I love X, formerly known as Twitter. Love you. But it's not what it was previously. Okay? It is completely different. It is toxic. It is super negative. Nobody, only a few people, a handful of people are fucking happy. Everybody else is depressed. They should star in antidepressant commercials. Stop chasing. You guys were laughing at me when I said I was buying the dip when it was dipping and pulling back. You guys laughed at me. Guess who's winning today? How do you fade a Jew? How do you fade a Jew? And how do you're everybody who is in major positions for you is Jewish. How do you fade a Jew? We'll be right back after this commercial break from Gemini. And that's right. This episode of The Breakdown is sponsored by Gemini. 629, episode 629 is sponsored by Gemini. Go to gemini.com/David G to learn more about Gemini's lineup of credit cards. Forget points. Forget points. I like their marketing. I love Gemini's marketing. Jesus Christ, bro. Jesus Christ. Sorry, I just if you guys hear me, I seen somebody show up. Might just keep them in the green room. Nobody wants to hear lines. Talk about lines and their RSDs and stuff. Anyway, also click the link. Ladies and gentlemen, click the link. Trade $1,000 in crypto on Gemini. Get $100 in Bitcoin. New signups only. We'll be right back in 30 seconds. Everybody wants the sound effects. Everybody wants sound effects. Don't worry. I'm going to get on the phone with Gemini and we're going to get that commercial that has, like, I don't know, some hip hop music in it. I've been waiting for Austin to give me the voiceover. I've waited, still waiting. Welcome to The Breakdown, episode 629. It's Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, man. Honestly, day after Thanksgiving, I had such battles, bro, with friends and family. I had such battles. It was wild, man. It was wild. I don't know if I've recovered. I don't know if I have actually recovered from these arguments. I need a few days. I actually think I need a vacation. I think I need a vacation. I need to get out. Okay. Go to an island, maybe Aruba, St. Martin, maybe DR. I don't know. I got some friends in DR. Shout out to DR. Maybe go visit DR. They might not be my friends because they might have bought Bitcoin high. I don't know. So maybe that might have to be crossed out. But again, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate all you guys for continuing to tune into the show. I think once I look back at my staff keeps texting me and they keep telling me about numbers. I try not to look at numbers, but next week we'll go ahead and obviously run the numbers down on X and even on Instagram and on some other social media platforms to inform everybody how great this show is. Absolutely 100%. The DG brand is skyrocketing. That's right. And I'm happy about that. All right. Let me just let him on for 5-10 minutes. Let him just come on for 5-10 minutes. I'm kicking him off after that. So I'm just literally just kicking his ass off. I'm joined by the fucking puppet Um, Landy, as you all know him, he's on every space, he's on every podcast and live stream. Hi, Landy, how's it going? And I hope you had a great and wonderful Thanksgiving.
Oh, thank you. Is this live? Oh shit. Excuse me for just a moment. Look, happy Thanksgiving, David. I see that you are setting a trend online with suits. I happen to be in the wrong one, so give me just a moment here. This is not
I hold on. I want to make a point of this.
what.
Nobody was wearing fucking suits. Not a single content creator, media personality, whatever you fucking want to call it, not a single person was wearing a suit. Guess what? Everybody's wearing a fucking suit. You're welcome. You're fucking welcome. Acknowledge me. Sorry.
That is true. You've been wearing a suit for a long time. My
For
apologies.
years.
Yes.
Years. This ain't a 6-month fucking trial. For years. Now everybody's wearing a fucking suit.
Would you say it's
You know
about
what?
4 years?
I'm going to say this. I'm happy everybody's wearing a suit because if you want to be a part of the new mainstream media, which is us, and you want to be a part of being the voice for finance, you need to look the part. Like, why is everybody coming out looking like Oscar the Grouch?
I look the part. I know that.
Yeah, absolutely. Even the puppet put the suit on. Anyway, Landy, are you surprised? Are you surprised with what you're seeing in the markets right now? Seriously, are you a little bit surprised? Were you expecting something else? Just no holds bars, truthful fucking questions.
No, absolutely not. Look, nothing in the markets has been a surprise since the spot ETFs launched. Right, it was very clear what was going to happen in markets, and it was very clear what was happening to Bitcoin as the leader in the crypto space. And now we're seeing what is going on with alts has been very frustrating for many. Is something that I called out a long time ago. Because it's when you get institutional flows, they have many different vectors to stabilize price, as they would put it, for things like Bitcoin in this case, um, not allowing it to really run, very methodical moves up. You get the big moves, right? You get the big moves up, the big moves down, but it's all within a defined range. And then a leg up, and then another really well defined range, and methodically working its way back down in price. And then Ethereum, I think that Ethereum is experiencing some of the pain of moving to proof of stake. And I'm being serious, and that's somebody, as somebody that runs validators. So I think
Well,
that
I
that
think they
does play
made
a role.
I think they made a mistake on. I think they
Building
made
a
a.
cake.
I don't know if I talked to you about this. I talked to somebody. I said that they made a mistake by going to proof of stake
Mhm.
and not leaving themselves on proof of work. And I think that all had to do though with everything that was happening under the Biden administration, obviously the SEC and all.
Yeah, but I
'Cause
think
I don't
they
think under this administration, I don't think they go to proof of stake. I can't see it.
I think they were running out of runway, having some insight into what was going on, and had to move to proof of stake to build out what they wanted to build out, which now I think has come back to bite them. And that is all of the EVM compatibility that now we see Ethereum being cannibalized by layer twos. It's a giant layer cake, and not enough demand for base layer Ethereum when you can use very little Ethereum on these layer twos, right? In order to get a lot of volume. Right? Because if you think about the volume that a lot of these layer twos put on, if you put that on layer one, the price would be a lot higher. Even if you make fee improvements to layer one. So, I mean, I think it's a fundamental issue of how the network itself has been built. But I'm not. I like what they've done. I think that in terms of if you're looking at price performance, you won't be happy. But when I look at the tech and the ability to spin up a layer 2 EVM compatible chain, I think that's great because it's allowed for a lot of innovation in product. And I think product's what at the end of the day what sells. Polymarket runs on what? Run on Polygon. Polygon is super cheap, right? And I was just having this discussion yesterday or the day before. Not yesterday, it was the day before. It's super cheap. Why isn't price appreciating? They do a ton of volume. Well, because it's buy sell transactions. It's not like, oh, we're going to hold it. We're going to make our bet or prediction and then, move on. Right. So you're not encouraged to go and do things. I mean, if there's more people coming on to run validator sets, then they got to suck up the supply. But realistically, it's a utility and it's being used as such. And if it's a utility, you want it to be cheap and effective in order to be widely adopted for the product that you're trying to use it for. And
I think Ethereum will be fine. Honestly, I have
yeah,
layer
in the long
twos.
term,
Say that again.
I think so. I think
Yeah, I mean, but that's the whole thing. I mean, like we talk in short term aspects. Like every conversation you hear on, I guess I'll say X because X is the most toxic out of all. Everything's always doom and gloom and it's over. Like Ethereum's never going to come back. This, that, and the third. But like for me, it's like this is a long term game.
yeah, that doesn't
What
mean that
happens
things
when
don't
Ethereum
change.
pops off in the next 6 months? Where's every? I mean, everybody's deleting their tweets now about
Well,
calling for $40,000 Bitcoin.
the fact of the matter is that if we go into a full blown bear market, the floor for from here for Bitcoin, I think 40K is a little deep. Um, is realistically from my metrics is somewhere around mid to upper 50s. I would say 50K to 55 is probably the base case for a bear market from here. Um, Dipping down into the 40s, there is a case for 42 to 45, but mm, if it hit that, we're at the absolute low, in my opinion. But I don't. That doesn't mean that price is going to go. Even if we were to go into a bear market from here, that doesn't mean price is going straight down in a line, right? It'll
Bro, you
bounce
sound
around.
so bearish.
Well, here's the thing.
Why
Um,
are you bearish?
this is not a bearish take. This is a
But
realistic take.
you sound bearish the entire time.
No, I called for 123 to 125 months ago. It hit
Okay, what do you think? We're
125.
not going back?
There is a case. There is an actual case for if the bulls can recover above specifically weekly closes above 101 and then start pushing towards 112 again. Then there is a case to run the top side again and possibly even go on a march. And we're still within the window, right? Q4 to Q1. That would be still cycle timing. That cycle that's not dead. Um, and I will debate you on that because what I'm talking about and what you're
There
talking about
is
are two
no
different things.
cycle.
There is. It's called the halving cycle, and there's an additional
Oh my
cycle
god,
there.
here we go.
But here's the thing. There is a
Here
halving
we
cycle
go.
and there's a minor capitulation cycle. There's actually two cycles for Bitcoin. And it's that minor capitulation cycle that keeps the door open for me right now for not calling the macro top in.
Landy, I mean when one you listened to Hunter when he came on here, right?
I don't care what Hunter says. He has a
What do
product
you
to sell.
mean? How can you not care what
He
these people
has a
say?
product to sell.
Oh my god.
He has a
I'm
product to
telling
sell.
you,
I
man, like
respect him. I respect him, but he has a product to sell.
I really believe that there is no cycle, man. There really isn't no cycle
That
anymore.
is ignoring the fundamentals of the economics of Bitcoin. It's built into its base layer. The Bitcoin is actually has the cycles
I
of
I I get
for a
that.
reason,
I'm just
right?
telling you, like I don't think there's I don't I know what you're talking about. I'm saying we are no
You're
there
talking
is
about
no
price
cycle,
cycle.
bro.
You're talking about liquidity or price. There's only one way to prevent a bear market from here, and that is to get minor capitulation and in a higher low. Okay. And the only way to do that, structurally speaking, and not have things roll over is to get minor capitulation while remaining above the last higher low or creating a deviation. And that would be on the monthly. We already swung below, David, the higher low on the monthly. The higher low on the monthly is at 82.5. You're gonna be like, well, lines and charts and they don't matter. You know why it matters? Because now you have a lot of bidders that were overhead that are underwater that will reposition as we go up in price. In fact, I called out the exact areas of interest that we've hit right along the way. I know you watched some of my stuff, and it's been accurate because I understand how the market works, the auction. And realistically, the economic base behind Bitcoin is a 4-year emissions cycle. And in between, we always get a minor capitulation cycle. We have not seen that yet. Every mass minor capitulation event that we've gotten has led to a new all-time high. That is what keeps the door open. And the area that was just hit at 80K, if that holds up, or even going to 78K, below 74, it's kind of over. If we go to 78, even or anywhere in between, the door is open at the top side, right back to 123 to 125. But there's a lot of things that need to happen in terms of breaking overhead resistance for price specifically. And then we could absolutely see new all-time highs.
I just honestly, I don't believe, like, and I'll keep saying this. I don't believe we're in this cycle that we're accustomed to seeing. That's it. Bottom line. I
Well,
just don't.
here's where I'm gonna argue with you on that. Um, and you know why, right? Miners capitulate when the network difficulty gets too high, right? They start to capitulate or turn off their machines. They become sellers at that point. Okay. And people who are in these markets, trading these markets, know that when miners are starting to capitulate, hash rate rolls over on the network, and miners are the biggest sellers at that point. You can sell with them and you can force price down. That's why we're seeing the methodical moves that we've seen. But it works both ways. A lot of these big spot ETFs and DATs that are coming in, they're bidding the floor up and giving the miners room, and the miners haven't capitulated in an actual capitulation event. We've seen a little bit of ebb and flow, and that's about it. Gives them time to recover, and then price starts moving back to the upside. They avoid having to shut off fleets, and they still stay really, really profitable. And that's what has been different about this cycle. We're 6 months late. You want to talk about a lengthening cycle? We're 6 months late on a minor capitulation. That is typically post having minor capitulation. What the hell was that? Post having minor
What
capitulation,
happened?
typically, I don't know, you like, I don't know, aliens interfered for a second and your camera went a little. Well, yep, there it is. I just saw it on the feed, on the live feed to the audience.
What happened?
Um, Turned like a green bar up top, and then like David's not real or something. I think David was sent here.
Might not be
Um,
real. Listen, I honestly, respectfully, I just, I understand what you're saying. I just,
I know you do.
I it's
That's why it's
I
crazy to say
I'm
that
going to
there's
say
no
it
4-year
differently.
cycle.
This the way that I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna say it differently. I
Mhm,
think that the cycles that we're accustomed to seeing, where you have like 2, 3 year fucking bear markets,
mhm.
well, at least that's what it fucking feels like. That's done with.
I I don't think that we are going to, even if we were to go into a quote unquote bear market from here, I do not think that it's going to be a long one. I think
So
that it would be fairly quick.
that's what I'm trying to say is, like, I don't know if you can define it as a bear market. Like, I
Well,
can't call it a bear
it
market no
will
more.
it will be defined as a bear market in structure, in structure only. I
Okay.
think it would feel very different though, and a lot of people wouldn't even see it as a bear market. I think you're right there.
What I'm I guess the terminology needs to be developed because obviously I came out with the pause market, which was excellent terminology. When I came out with the pause market, and obviously we're gonna have the merch store, and I know everybody's waiting to get the fucking shirts. The pause market meant something because it was true. Like no, what I
Yeah.
meant by pause market is like nobody knows what the fuck's going on. People are hearing for the first time in their lives the word tariff. So
Yeah, I
everything's
mean,
on hold.
it's not like there
Like
was a little puppet on your stage that was calling for that the year prior. Come on.
I was
Look,
calling for the pause market.
I know you were at around the same time, like, we need it, right? But you gotta understand that
That's what I
structurally, it
think is
was a
going
bull
to
market.
happen as we move forward, Landy. That's what I'm trying to say.
I
As we
agree.
move forward, I think we take the same path. Well, Bitcoin is going to take the same path as gold. That's what I believe. Like you look
I
at the ETFs and the dates that obviously
yeah.
gold's when gold got the ETF approved, and then Bitcoin's ETF approvals. I think they're going to take the same path. So if you look at that, if you look at gold's ETF as any sort of blueprint on where
Mhm,
you might see Bitcoin head, I think that's a perfect example. Like to I guess
mhm.
understand this market.
I
I don't know.
I don't
That's my
disagree.
personal opinion. I could be fucking wrong, but I'm just saying, like, when you have the institute, if you when you got the same players in gold playing in Bitcoin, I'm kind of thinking, I'm sitting back and saying, okay, like this could happen. We could have an 8 to 12 year run here. I'm not saying that it's all up. What I'm saying is it's just like when you zoom out, everything's going up. It's not
In a long enough time frame, yeah. Well, I mean,
but that's how I look at things. So like
I get
maybe
it.
like it's just me. Like I look at things from a long term perspective. So when people say, "Oh, it's going to go from 100 to 50K," great. I'll just pick up more. That's fine. No problem.
Yeah. I think that a lot of people also discount that we did have a 2-year bear market for gold in that run, but it was a massive when you zoom out to, longer time frame, it was just a pullback, right? But it felt like, an entire bear market there because it was 2 years long of sideways and down. I don't think Bitcoin's gonna be doing that. I know there's some that are calling for 5 years of sideways and down for Bitcoin and extremely low prices. I'm not on board with that. But here's the difference between the pause market and now. In the pause market, which you termed it, and we do need t-shirts. I want one. But I was calling for a big sell-off into, the last year, right? The end of the year, coming into the end of the year. I'd been talking about it the entire time for Q1 to Q2 of this year. We got it, right? That was the pause market, right? The sideways and down from the 109 area to 74. But we were in a macro bull structure for like the monthly in an uptrend. Right now, that's in danger on the monthly. So that's where it makes it a little bit different. But I could absolutely see a deviation and the new highs. I could see this chopping around at a wider range, for instance, for a while, and then resolving it back to the upside because look, we haven't really gotten a massive run in Bitcoin. This has been a pretty tame bull market, which means that the bearish period is going to be pretty tame too. And if that means that things, kind of head down into mid next year and then start resolving towards the end of the year, that would qualify as what many analysts would call a bear market, but it certainly wouldn't feel like it in my opinion. I think base case, like I said, even like 50K, I think that's a base case bear market, but even then there's room 50 to 55. I mean, when you take 80K and look down to 50, it's not, 55, it's not that bad, believe it or not,
It's
right?
not. And you have the opportunity to still work at IHOP and collect.
Yeah.
Welcome to the breakdown episode 629, sponsored by Gemini. I have one last question for this puppet. What do you think happens with the income taxes? To me, I don't know if you were here when the show started, but I said, I
Mhm.
don't think Trump's trying to eliminate income tax altogether. I think it's specifically probably for people earning, I don't know, 75 combined, maybe 150. Maybe they don't get taxed. Uh,
Yeah.
I think at a certain, I think certain individuals high, you know what? I think he's going to tax millionaires and billionaires
I
at
I
some
I think
at
so.
some sort of like lower, maybe at a lower percent rate. I don't know. I don't think you get rid of income tax altogether. I think to me tariffs are a tool. They're not. I don't think we rely on tariffs. Um,
I
this could be controversial, what I'm talking about, but a tariff is a tool to negotiate. Like you can't.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I mean, all
The base
indication.
is gonna kill me. By the way, I will never kill myself. Go ahead, Landy. What do you think about what do you? I'm Jewish, man. Come on. What do you think about? What do you think about what he said about income taxes? That'll be my
With
last question too.
in regards to income taxes, I think you're on the money with that. I think, like, the headline number will be somewhere around 150 to 200, but that's really gonna be for, multi where you've it's not single income based, in my opinion. Um, because I think that the taxes will be lowered across the board for income, and I think elimination up to the first 75 for single, I think would be fair. And maybe 150, 200 for families, which could move, the base case for single up to 100. But realistically, what does he want when he does that, right? He wants people to have more money in their pockets. You spend more, which inevitably is going to help the tariff side, right? It is essentially changing the function of the system and taking the control about who's aiming the spending where, being Congress, giving it back to the people. And either way, on the tariff side, you get to eat, right? Because they'll still you can lower those taxes and you'll end up making more revenue on the tariff side because people got more money to spend. And spending is what drives economies, right? And that's what drives specifically the types of economies we have in the current modern monetary theory based economic system that we're in, unfortunately. And that's how you can avoid issuing new spending, although it would be considered a spend in terms of the way that they budget. But you cut those taxes out, you can generate, I think, 150K. If that was going to be an individual after standard deductions, that's normally like $24,000 before any additional deductions and write-offs. So that's big. For families, it would be a little bit more. It'd be around 116. So it's like 23K, 20 to 23K or something like that. I was running the numbers the other day.
And
That's a lot of money.
I think it would be really good for the economy to have people in that bracket be able to go and spend. Um,
Yeah.
like right now, taxes are crazy right now, man. That's all I got to say, man. Taxes, especially if you live like in New York or California, it is absolutely insane, man. Like I don't
I
even.
I know.
Some people just question like what I heard somebody say this, like I just rather be on welfare. I don't know what am I working for, man, when I'm giving away like almost half of whatever I earn. I mean that there's a problem when you're giving away half of what you earn or more than half of what you earn. That's a big
It's
problem.
it's insane. The other thing that they can do with tariffs, and I suspect they're going to do more of. I mean, you've seen the investments into Intel and all this other stuff. I think that that's going to be another angle. I think that they're going to take, as tariff revenue comes up, you start cutting taxes or eliminating income tax on up to a certain number for individuals, the first whatever, and families the first whatever, whether it be 150, 200, yada yada. And then you spur spending, you get more tariff revenue. You build here at home by getting more business, you increase exports, you shrink the net export gap, which is how much we export versus import. And then you start taking that money, you pay debt, you allow for this money wheel to keep going with people that got more money in their pockets to spur spending, and you take and you start investing in American companies. And I think that that is part of the Besant plan. And I mean, I think that's part of the Trump administration's goals, among many others. And I think that there's a lot more to it, but I think you're on the money. And I also do think that the the ultra rich will pay more, but their companies will pay less.
Landy, I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Um, I hope you had
Same deal.
it. I hope you weren't on your charts, which you probably were. I hope you weren't on your charts just looking at shit. Um, I know you want to tell
Barely.
everybody how right you are.
Um, I'm
Right.
not right. I'm just accurate.
There you go. He is accurate, ladies and gentlemen. Go give Landy a follow. Landy comes out with reports Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Guess what? Today's Friday. He's in a suit, a matching suit, except the tie don't match. Um, but go check him out. Go check out his videos. He's breaking down the markets anywhere from 18 to 25 minutes. The man's a beast in the paint, man. Okay. Doesn't get enough credit from some, but I give him a ton of credit, even though I might disagree with some of his fucking takes. But that's okay, because he disagrees with me too. And that's
Sure.
why the United States of America is a beautiful country, especially when you have freedom of speech. Let's fucking go. Landy, thank you very much for coming on. I appreciate you, brother.
Thanks, David.
I
I
was going to
appreciate
bring
you
on
too.
anybody, but then you popped up in the green room, and I was like, fuck. I have no other choice but to bring him on.
Well, I'm about ready to get back in my birthday suit,
Yeah,
and
what the fuck? What the
and
fuck is that?
yep, birthday suit time.
Nobody needed
It's
that
party
fucking image,
time.
bro. Nobody needed that fucking image of you in a birthday suit, man. Um,
It's vacation,
yeah,
baby. Appreciate you,
no,
David.
stop. Jesus Christ. What the fuck? Guys, we'll be right back. Bye, Landy. Have a great day, man. Jesus, what the fuck? I just saw that. I'm out, man. Bye, Landy. He's out. Get out of here with that shit. What is happening? No wonder Hotep Jesus is like, what the fuck is happening? Hotep, I just caught that shit that he went naked with the monkey, bro. What is happening here? Anyway, shout out to everybody tuning in from all the honestly, we are trying so hard to get on Facebook and Instagram. Well, to get it connected into Restream, because holy shit, will we be dominating the airwaves? You think we're dominating now? Watch what's coming, bro. Anyway, really good shows lined up next week. I'm fucking excited. Shout out to everybody that tuned in this week or came on this week to go ahead and have a conversation with me. Really appreciate it. Really do appreciate it. And just remember, when you come onto the show, I am just having or trying to have a conversation for 10 to 15, 20 minutes. Make sure you're prepared, man, because you're representing your brands. That's all I got to say. We'll be right back after this commercial break from Gemini. And that's right. This commercial, this Gemini commercial, um, go to gemini.com/David G to look at the lineup of credit cards that Gemini has to offer. Gemini also sponsors the show, 629, The Breakdown. Okay. The Breakdown, sponsored by Gemini. Go click on the link that I put out there everywhere. And I'm going to talk about something because I'm getting DMs and people are asking me. So I'm going to, let me pop right open here. What's going on? All right. I'm getting, even my own staff is, which a lot of people are from Canada are asking, why can't they participate? I will ask, okay? And I think, and I'm pretty sure that Gemini is probably working on these things. So honestly, the only thing I can do is ask. I know, again, I'm getting the DMs that, I know 20 to 25%, I guess, of my audience is from Canada. Um, I'm sure they're working on it. I'm sure they understand how important it is to have the Canadians into the mix. Now, I personally, listen, I think an easy solution is to have Trump, come through on his promise and make Canada the 51st state of the United States of America. But also thinking about it, I don't know if I want you Canadians a part of the United States of America. So it's like a catch 22. A lot of you guys are super liberal. Okay. You want me to talk about pronouns and stuff. I'm not interested. So it's kind of like a catch 22. Kind of a cat. Like I have Canadians in the office, in the chat talking. So, oh Canada, welcome back to the show. It's the part of the show where I just like I'm going to speak my mind on a few things, man. Number one, I don't shout out to all the people that have sent emails out to partnerships@gokstein.com. You can go, if you don't know how to spell my last name, just go to my bio on X and you can go ahead and copy and paste. You can go ahead and copy and paste that email address. And if you want to go ahead and partner up or sponsor the brand, you know what you go ahead and need to do. It's type on a goddamn machine, write a little email and send it out. It's very easy. Go ahead and send off your emails, and if the brand fits, we might be talking. But like, it's funny. I found this really funny that you have brands that reach out to you and they're like, "Hey, we want to do business and we want to work together." This is and this message really goes out to those that are actually creating content and stuff. So they'll reach out and say, "Hey, would love for you to go ahead and do all this stuff for 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 us and build us up." But yet they want to pay absolute dog shit in return. Know your worth, and slap that tax on it. Okay? Y'all heard that quote before. I extended it a little bit. Know your worth and slap tax on it. Okay? Bottom line. They need you more than more than you need them. And I know all these podcasts, all these live streams depend on sponsorships. The cool part about me is that I don't depend on nobody. And it's a beautiful thing because I can pick out whoever I want to work with. I want to make sure that I'm aligned with the right brands and the right sponsors, that I can push them and they're going to push me and we're going to have a wonderful relationship. You're going to get seen by my audience that continues to grow. By the way, 3.1 billion impressions on TikTok. My audience is growing big time. It is your privilege to work with me. It is literally your privilege to work with me. I am literally the mouthpiece to finance now. That's right, because crypto's taking over. All the institutional players are trying to build on crypto. built on blockchains, use crypto. Bro, we are the new mouthpiece for finance. Bottom line. So you don't have to, at the end of the day, you don't have to like me. You're aiming for my audience. That's why I can sit here and just like, hey, I'm going to get my deals. And that's what I told the young, sorry, man. I don't know what the fuck is going on here today, man. I'm gonna have to get a specialist in here to make sure that my shit stays connected, man. I can't be, this shit is frustrating as fuck. I'll start talking and the monitors go out, man. The monitors really be fucking, they're not on my side, man. They really are not on my side. I got Rage want to sponsor you. What else we got? Dave, you said know your worth. Yeah, I know my worth. I know my worth. I know my worth. I work ridiculously hard. I work very hard. I do this because I love this. Hold on, let me just fucking fix this shit, man. This is terrible, man. This is terrible that I can't get through one fucking podcast without this shit fucking staying on and working with me, man. Let me go ahead and fuck, man. This is absolute dog shit. I hate this shit, man. Can't stand like I gotta tell you, man. Don't offer the product if this shit ain't gonna fucking work, man. I gotta get a new monitor. I think that's bottom line. I need a new monitor. I gotta look sideways. This is absolute dog shit. Absolute fucking dog shit. Absolute dog shit. This is the frustrating part about being a content creator when shit goes wrong. When shit goes wrong, it's not going your way. What the fuck, man? Fuck it, I'll have a show about me cursing the God damn it, man. This work. Oh. This is so frustrating. This honestly is the most frustrating thing that I've been dealing with lately is that the monitors continue to go out as I'm having conversations. Even when the guests come on, I'm having conversations and out of nowhere, it'll just stop working. So I gotta be a professional, look straight into the camera and keep going and act like everything's all fine and dandy when it's not. Really fucking sucks. This is the day and life of being a fucking media personality. This I gotta tell you, this fucking. I'm about to flip my table. There's 100%. I'm about to flip my table. I am losing it right now. I am losing my cool right now. 100%. I'm losing my cool, man. We'll be right back after this commercial break. I fixed it. I fixed it. For now. Until it goes out again. But welcome back to the breakdown. I might just go until 3 o'clock here. I was going to finish it off at 2 p.m. because I wanted to go and run, do a little bit of running. Yeah, I really have been working hard. I really have been working hard, man. I can't. This is probably I've always been a hard worker. This is probably the hardest that I've ever worked. 100%. Like this has been with the amount of shit that I've been dealing with, this has been the hardest that I've gone in 100%. I tell everybody that works with me, you don't take no for an answer, man. You contact everybody. We're out here. We're going to press everybody until they say yes, 100%. You know why? Because I believe that this show makes an impact. We deliver, I deliver. And I said this already. In 6 months, I'll be the top voice. I'll be one of the top voices when you go and you look at Apple Podcasts, Spotify. I know what my end goal is. And I got a bunch of people that are aligning with my message, that believe in me, that are working with me to see that shit happen. And that is something that I'm fucking happy about, man. You don't need a big team. You just need a bunch of motherfuckers that actually believe in you, that actually want to support you, that actually want to push you towards obtaining certain goals in your life. You guys should surround yourself with people that want to see you win. No agendas. Just, hey, man, I'm happy to see you win. Because think about it. If I win and you're around me, you're going to win. Right? Because I'm going to repay the people that have done nothing but support me 100%. 100%. The biggest, I talked about this a lot. The biggest mistake that I believe individuals make is go on Spaces. If you are a big brand, you should not be on Spaces. It only hurts you. You are giving access to people that don't deserve access to you. If you're a big brand, I'm going to say this again, and you're on Spaces and you're letting up everybody on stage, you are diluting your brand. There's nothing wrong with making an appearance here and there, but if you're doing it daily for hours, you're diluting your brand 100%. Maybe I just got big dreams, man. Maybe I have bigger dreams than some. Like, I love crypto. I want to talk about crypto all day long, but also I love politics. I love sports. My goal, the goals that I have, I know within 6 months I'm going to reach them. The amount of people that we have coming onto this show specifically in the next few weeks, incredible. I got to tell you guys something. Keep knocking on the door. I know a lot of content creators come to watch this show. Some that hate this show, hate me, dislike me, some that love me. But here's a message to both sides of the camps. Keep knocking, keep grinding, don't stop. Fuck the no's. Eventually, you're going to get a yes. And once you get that one yes, you'll get a bunch of yeses, and then it's full steam ahead from then on in. You know, I'm petty, though. I'm very fucking petty. I'm writing down all the no's. And I'm writing down the people that said yes. Without hesitation. Without any hesitation. See, the people who have said no, they're going to have a hard time coming on this show unless I feel like there's a specific topic that should include them. Yes, I'm going to be petty. There's no reason why I should bring anybody onto my platform after they gave me the hard no. No reason. Absolutely no reason. I'm very transparent when I fucking talk. You guys have followed me long enough to know, like, I am not going to hide my fucking words here. If you say no to me, If you say no to my staff when they reach out to get you onto this program, you don't. I don't even have to write it in. I don't even have to write it on paper. There is no other show. I know this in my heart. There is no other show. If we're going to talk about crypto, there is no other show within this crypto space that delivers like me. It just absolutely that just maybe there's just like 5 or 6 of us that are very professional out here. And like you can pick which one you want to go ahead and tune into. And I'm talking about like live streams, live direct in your face kind of thing. That hold shows for more than an hour, bring on guests. There's only like 4 or 5 of us. And there's only one of me that's listen, me cursing, I don't curse on purpose to try to fucking, I don't curse just to curse to sound like I'm stone cold or look cool. No, the cursing just comes out. It really does. When I curse, it's just like, man, it's a part of my vocabulary. That's it, man. It's not like intentionally trying to go ahead and stir up shit. No. And I don't come up here, and I also don't come on camera or come onto this show to intentionally stir up shit either, man. If I had it my way, I'd love to work with everybody, but I just know reality check, you just can't work with everybody, okay? You got to give a fuck about yourself. That's why I started this show saying you guys need to give a fuck about yourselves. You need to take your fucking health seriously, man. You really need to take your health seriously. Being obese, being anorexic, that's not cool. You need to go ahead and be healthy. You need to stop eating that junk food. You want to win in crypto, you need to get your life together before you fucking win in anything. You guys, a lot of you guys sign up to crypto thinking that you're going to win automatically because you got a fucking X account and shit. 3 days, you're owed money. The fuck you talking about? You got to work. You got to work. This is probably, though, at the end of the day, though, in crypto, this is probably a little bit easier than TriFi. If you take this seriously, this is probably a little bit easier right now than it is to participate in the TriFi markets. All of you guys can be super successful if you fucking took it seriously. A lot of you guys just are just motivated. And anybody who's just motivated, hear me out now. Anybody who's just motivated is never going to be successful. If you're motivated, that shit lasts for like a day or two. You got to be fucking determined, driven. I'm insanely driven to be number one. I don't give a fuck who's watching right now, who might be clipping this up. I don't give a fuck if there was supposed to be a person that wanted to come on this show and then watch this just now and said, yo, this man is fucking cocky. I'm not cocky. I'm confident. If I am stepping onto that motherfucking court, I'm trying to be the best. Who the fuck I played sports. I never went onto the field saying I'm going to be last. Or I'm going to be absolute dog shit. Yes, you know what? Let me put my pads on. I want to be the worst player on the field. I've never went in with that fucking attitude. Am I the most talented? No. Do I give the most effort? Absolutely. I believe that. I believe I'm talented, though. Am I the most talented? No. But will I bring that energy? Will I show up every day? Will I give you 400%? Will I give myself 400%? 1,000%? Absolutely. I will outwork you. I will show up every single day. I will provide value. I will run through a fucking wall for things that I believe in. When I talk about certain subjects, I believe that I speak from the heart when I speak on them. Am I right all the time? No. That's why you bring on a guest that tells you you're wrong. Why? Let's talk about why I'm wrong. Educate me more. That's not cockiness. That's being confident in your abilities. That's not being arrogant. Yes, my face. Yeah, some people who don't know me, you tune in, you see me, you're like, that's an arrogant son of a bitch. You know what? I was just born with a resting bitch face. I can't do shit about it. I feel that I'm one of the most humble individuals that you ever fucking met. But you know what? Somebody will say, hold on, you say that you're humble, but you're talking about being number one. Yes, you can be out there putting this into the universe saying that, hey, I want to be number one at whatever the fuck I'm doing. Of course I want to be number one. What the fuck wants to be number 3, 4, 5, 6, 20? What the fuck are we talking about? And like when you keep rising, there's more hate, but I don't even give a fuck because I've been here so long. I'm just like numb to everything. The reason why I believe I am so fucking good and I'm going to be so fucking great is the fact that I've been through so much shit that like nothing affects me. It really doesn't. It doesn't bother me much anymore. I'm telling you, like 12 weeks ago, the Band-Aid came off and I'm so numb. Like I'm Novocaine to this shit, bro. Like it doesn't matter. I love doing this. I love getting on a microphone and talking about crypto, politics, sports. Okay, I love this shit. And I'll say whatever the fuck I want to say. I don't give a fuck. You guys fucking walk on eggshells. That's not me. I will cancel myself, okay? And I'm talking about cancel the show way before I start walking on eggshells and doing things to keep people with me. Fuck that. That is where we have gone wrong in this world. We're trying to please people. I create content for myself. Bottom line. If I like my content, then the people will love the fucking value. Or they will see value within the content. When you try to go ahead and please everybody, like a lot of you motherfuckers do, forget about just crypto, just in life, that's where you go wrong. That's where you lose yourself. Stop pleasing. Please yourself. You gotta be happy. Learn something. A lot of you guys are in crypto. What are you doing with your money once you make money? Do you know how to handle money? No, you don't. Because a lot of you motherfuckers, your third cycle, you're round tripped again. Do you know how to handle money? No, you don't. Have you surrounded yourself with the right people? No, you haven't. Do you enjoy fuckery? Yeah, you do. Most of you do. You love the toxicity. You're not trying to change your lives. You're not trying to be better. Don't be offended by this message. Because if you are, then the message ain't for you. You ain't trying to be, like, you're not trying. Actually, you're trying. You're just trying. But you're not really about this life. Welcome to The Breakdown, episode 629. Newsletters coming out. Newsletters coming out. The website's almost finished. Working on Instagram and Facebook to up the numbers. I'm being transparent. We're going to up the numbers. I want my show to continue to get higher ratings than any of these mainstream media shows that are backed by millions upon millions of dollars. That's right. I want to embarrass you motherfuckers, especially the fact that you guys for years told people that Bitcoin was trash. You invited guests on. 95% of the guests that came onto your show were dumping on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and digital assets. You invited people like me to trash me. The only person that didn't trash me was Charles Payne. Shout out to Charles Payne from Fox Business. That was the only person out of all the networks that I would go on to that would never trash me. I'm not saying he agreed with, I don't know if he agreed with me or not, but he never trashed me. He understands retail. Everywhere else that I went, whatever show I went on to, they try to trash Bitcoin and the digital asset space. Okay? That's all they did. So you guys can kiss my ass for the shit that you did, because there are a lot of people that did not seize this opportunity early on because of you. Because you guys, all you do is support your elite friends. And you're owned by BlackRock and every other single fucking institution. What is it? BlackRock, Fidelity own 50% of mainstream media? Yeah, that's cute. Of course the messaging was fuck crypto. Up until now. Now there's a new script. Don't ask me to like institutions. I got my own beef with them. I'm still trying to understand why we're aligned with banks. I'm still trying to understand that. I can understand ETFs, but you know why I can understand ETFs? Because grandma and grandpa, they are not coming into this fucking ecosystem. They're not participating with you motherfuckers. They're going straight to the people that they know that have made them money, and they're buying an ETF. Fuck that. Fuck seed phrases. Fuck all this shit. We'll just go buy an ETF. That's how they see it. They don't understand that owning physical Bitcoin is the way to go. Not your keys, not your crypto. They don't give a shit about that. You guys can't even explain it. When I hear you guys talk in your rooms or on your podcasts, you're not even trying to explain the shit to them. To the average retail buyer who is interested. You're not even trying. Anyway, we'll be right back after this commercial break. This show, 629, is sponsored by Gemini. Go to Gemini.com/David G to find more or find out more about Gemini's lineup of credit cards issued by WebBank. Welcome back to the show. It is 2:45 p.m. on a Friday. I love Fridays, right? We all love Fridays. Tune in later tonight. You can go ahead and get to watch Hotep live on the nightly recap. I think he's doing it at 9 p.m. today. Shout out to Hotep Jesus. He was on Timcast. And I got to say, Hotep really did drop some fucking bars. If you haven't watched, go watch it, man. I would encourage you to watch it. Anyway, Quote of the day. Here goes the quote of the day. When you start making decisions based on what needs to be done and not how you feel, that is when everything changes. Feelings are temporary, but discipline creates patience. Success has never. Hold on. This is dog shit. This is dog shit. I didn't like that quote. I didn't like that quote. I'm sorry. I didn't like that quote. And I didn't like it. Let's go with this one. Quote of the day. Be delusional enough to see a future that doesn't exist yet. Be disciplined enough to consistently build in that direction. Don't quit. Keep going. That's the one that I like. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in this week. I want to thank all the guests that came on this week to chop it up with me. Peter Schiff. I'm trying to get Peter Schiff and Michael Saylor together. It's in the works. It's in the works. That's all I got to say. Again, thank you very much. I appreciate everybody who supports, who tunes in to this show. Stay tuned. The podcast is coming. The podcast is coming. I know I keep saying this, but it really is coming. And we'll see you on Monday. December, remember, December, it will start. This show starts from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 2 hours. 2 hours of breakdown talk with a lot of guests. With a lot of guests stopping up by and dropping by, we'll go ahead and chop it up. We'll chop it up and we'll have some fucking fun. Crypto should be fun. Finance should be fun. It should be fun. You should have some laughs. Shouldn't be so serious, right? Certain points, obviously, at certain parts of this, it has to be serious, but we should be able to laugh and we should be able to understand what the fuck is happening within the ecosystem. And that is all that I'm trying to do. That it really is. It's all that I'm trying to do. By the way, I can't wait. I actually have to pause here real quick before I go. What happened in Washington was disgusting. In Washington, D.C. Two National Guards being taken out by another wonderful person that has come from a different country, Afghanistan, and does not appreciate the United States of America. Now, that doesn't mean, and I love this question that was posed to Trump yesterday, that doesn't mean every single Afghani person is bad. That's not what it means. It means that a lot of undocumented people are here in this country. They hate this country, and they're trying to take out. They're trying to take out our people. This is serious. This is very serious. I don't care if you're a Democrat or a Republican, independent, Green Party, Purple Party. I don't care who you like and don't like. If you are an American citizen, you need to take this seriously. The language that's being put out there is horrific, especially by the Democrats. Yes, I said it, especially by the Democrats. Going and making videos about do not listen to the President of the United States of America, which basically that's all it was. Do not take orders from the President of the United States of America. You are causing division. You are waking up the mentally ill people in this country to do what they did or do what he did 2 days ago. Or was it? Yeah, it's basically that. Yeah. You should be ashamed of yourselves. You know, regardless if you're a Democrat or Republican, you represent the people of the United States of America, not just a certain party. You represent the people of the United States of America. So do better. You're out there every day campaigning to take out Trump, impeach him, get rid of him, wishing him the worst things in the world, him and his family. Disgusting. Have you guys not learned from Charlie Kirk and what happened to him for voicing his own opinions? His assassination had no effect on you guys? You didn't have to agree with them, but your assassination didn't have any effect on him, on you guys? It's terrible. It is absolutely fucking terrible. Instead of fixing the United States of America, instead of fixing the economy, creating more jobs, working together to get that done, making sure our veterans are good, taking care of the homeless situation, the drug pandemic that we have here. Instead of working towards that, you're too busy shutting down the government, talking shit about Trump all day long. What are you really doing for the people? The people in the United States of America are drowning. And they will be in a far worse situation if Trump wasn't president. Trump's out here mending relationships that Biden ruined. Not only Biden, but Obama as well. Trump is out here as a businessman going to countries or bringing leaders from other countries to the United States of America to work out deals. I don't understand what's so wrong with that. I'm happy to hear that they're taking away visas. I'm happy about that. Hold on, that was breaking news on something. Hold on. Fuck. I don't know where it is, man. I don't know where it is. Breaking news: President Donald Trump says he will rescind and terminate any executive order signed under Biden using an auto pen. So breaking news: Trump says he will rescind and terminate any executive order signed under Biden using auto pen. But besides that breaking news, I just want to say that language matters. When the mainstream media, the liberal mainstream media, goes out there and calls Trump a fascist, like calls him Hitler. The mayor of the new mayor elect called him a fascist. This type of language leads to what you saw 2 days ago. What you saw while Trump was campaigning, the 2 assassination attempts, the language used by mainstream media and people with big platforms led to that, because there's mentally ill people sitting at home right now waiting to do something because they think it's the right thing to do, because that's the messaging that you have put out there. What a world we would live in if everybody just got along, right? What a world. You know, I got to say, I can't remember, because it's been far too long. I can't remember when we were united. I don't remember the last time we were united as a nation. Democrats and Republicans I don't remember. I don't remember. I got to think about that. As I'm talking about this, it does pain me. I got to say it. I love America. Greatest country in the world. I love America. It pains me to see what everything that's happening now. Honestly, heartbroken. The infighting is crazy. Nobody wants to work with each other. How do you move forward? How does the country move forward when you're not willing? I think a lot of these representatives and these senators forget that they work for us, not the other way around. I don't think you guys remember that you work for us, the people of the United States of America. You ask for our votes, we vote you in, and then you stop working. You forget about us. You forget about the guy who goes to work 9 to 5 and then has another job at night. You forgot about them. You forgot about them. Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you for forgetting about the American people. Shame on you for throwing shit Trump's way. A guy, a billionaire. Okay, Trump was a billionaire. Didn't need this headache. Took it upon himself to become president of the United States, defied all odds, especially on this third go around, on this third go around, he defied all odds. Nobody thought he would be the next president of the United States of America. Everybody probably thought it was Biden or Kamala Harris, whatever. Choose your poison. Here you have somebody who saved us. And I mean that. Do I like everything that Trump says? No. I don't think Trump would like everything I say. But for the most part, I agree with a lot of the shit that he does. And I know at least it's coming from the heart, bro. I know at least Trump is doing things because he actually wants to see America be great again. You have the Republican Party turning on them. You know what? I'll save that conversation for another day. I appreciate. I don't know. I went on a rant. I don't know why, but you know what? I love this country so much that I just wish it was so. It could be so much better. It really could be so much better. Honestly, it could be. It really could be, man. And still at this very point, we are the greatest nation in the world. We are the greatest country. We are definitely the greatest country in the world. Imagine if we worked together. Imagine if that happened. Oh my God. How many great things can be accomplished? How many great things can be accomplished if we just came to the aisle and just fucking worked together regardless of party lines? Could you imagine? I hope that the Democratic Party, the old Democratic Party, comes back, because the new Democratic Party is absolutely batshit crazy. And here's a controversial take. I hope that the Republican Party comes back, because some on the right have gone absolutely right. I hope that some common sense can come into play and you guys can realize that you work for us and not the other way around. Anyway, I'm out. Have a great weekend. This show is sponsored by Gemini. That's right. The Breakdown, episode 629, sponsored by Gemini. Go to Gemini.com/David G to get more information on Gemini's lineup of credit cards, all issued by WebBank. Also, if you haven't, click on my link. If you haven't signed up to Gemini, click the link, trade $1,000 in crypto, get $100 in Bitcoin. Terms apply. Have a great weekend. I'll see you back on Monday.